فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر صدق الله العظيम. मैं यहाँ आए तमाम मुअज़्ज़िज़ मेहमानों को खुश आमदीद कहने के साथ ही इस नशिस्त का बाकायदा आगाज़ करना चाहता हूँ। नशिस्त के आगाज़ में सबसे पहले हम क्योंकि बुक लॉन्चिंग है तो ये रस्मी तौर पर इसकी कार्रवाई मुकम्मल करने के लिए मुअज़्ज़िज़ मेहमानान गिरामी को से दरख्वास्त करूँगा कि फीता काट कर इसका आगाज़ किया जाए। वक्त की कमी है तो हमने सोचा क्योंकि वक्त की किल्लत है इसलिए हमारी कोशिश रहेगी कि जो हमारे प्रोग्राम में जो तरकीब है उन सारे हज़रात को, सारे मेहमानान गिरामी को, प्रेस्टीजियस स्कॉलर्स को, सबको उनकी बातचीत करने का, उनके ख्यालात सबके सामने पेश करने का मौका भी मिले और हम अपने मुकर्रर वक्त के अंदर ही सारी तकरीब को अपने इख्तिताम तक भी पहुँचा दें। मैं सबसे पहले एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर इंटरनेशनल इकबाल इंस्टीट्यूट फॉर रिसर्च एंड डायलॉग डॉक्टर हुस्न साहब को दावत दूंगा कि वो तशरीफ लाएं और वेलकमिंग नोट के साथ इस तकरीब को बकायदा
First of all, I welcome you all here in this book launching ceremony. Specifically, your chief guest, Suhail Ahmad Sahib, and guest of honor, Shahzad Chaudhry Sahib, our rector, honorable rector, Professor Dr. Masloom Yassi, keynote speaker, Dr. Ajit Sood, Dr. Zahid Hussain Sahib, Dr. Yasser Sahib, and ladies and gentlemen, we are surrounded by few academics, by several Air Force officers, and I think the Air Force will be pride for all of us. So, I congratulate the author for producing such a rigorous and timely research on the subject, because we are actually facing several turmoils which are social, economic, political, cultural, and we are at the verge of so many collapses as well. So I think addressing these subjects and neglected research areas is very timely, and I congratulate him. He has been neutral in his research, objective as well as critic of his own institution as well. So I think that is the beauty of the research, and objectivity. Just to briefly discuss what we are doing, who we are. So this institute is called Iqbal International Institute for Research and Dialogue. In short, it's IRD. IRD was actually created by this is another dilemma of this country, that when political leaders come, they do not create such institutions. It was created not by a politically elected person, but actually by Professor just to support his right moderation at that time. It was based in Lahore as a policy think tank, and then it was moved to International Islamic University and became the constituent part of the university. So it's autonomous, semi-autonomous, as well funded directly by the Higher Education Commission of Pakistan. Just to tell you about some of our projects. So this publishing books is one of 4 projects. And the core aim is actually decolonization of knowledge, because we are being researched by others and by people who misrepresent us as well in the international global publishing industry. So we have motivated several scholars, actually hundreds of, just to come up with original, locally produced research, locally produced knowledge on our own issues. And this is in the series of, like, we have published more than 75 books, and this is just another book which is upcoming in the press, that is politically perfect. And that work was done by another Pakistani scholar, and that is actually dealing with ethnic conflicts and the ethnic question and the nation building question. And recently, before this book, we published Privacy and Surveillance. The security cameras all around us in the streets and everywhere, watching us and observing us like big brothers. And we don't have any privacy. You are having family and you are having your own private sphere. Everything is under observation, everything is being recorded, and there is no legislation on that as well. So what we do in the next stage, we take these books for debate and discussion in civil society as well as academia, just to generate critical discussion actually on these issues and subjects. One of our other core areas is training of ulama and religious clerics, one of the most difficult subjects actually. And we trained in the last 4 years more than 2,000 madrasa teachers, imam, khatib, and I know this is a very uphill task and it's very difficult to create an impact there. But actually, we come up with critical understanding, critical questions, ijtihad, ibans, reconstructionist ideas, etc. And we impart them in those training projects. We have a national outreach project in which we take scholars coming from different places to periphery, Pata, Pakistan, South Punjab, Sindh, which is normally neglected in the mainstream intellectual discourse. So what we do, we bring them closer by just taking the scholarship there, and we create discussion there, we debate there, we discourse there. So these are some of our projects, but actually we are doing many more things. But in the interest of time, since the time is short, and our keynote, Khalid Masood Sahib, he will be leaving us soon. So that's why I want to discuss in detail. So once again, I welcome you all here. I hope you have visited. This is the old campus of International Islamic University. The new campus is over there in H10 Center. It's a huge center hosting like more than 30,000 students in more than 50 departments and faculties. And this is the old campus where actually all academies and research institutes are located. So, with these few comments and words, I will just sum up. Thank you so much once again, and I'm looking forward to a good discussion within this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. डॉक्टर मुस्तमीन साहब के वेलकम नोट के बाद रस्मी तौर पर किसी भी तकरीब में की नोट सबसे आखिर में पेश किया जाता है, लेकिन डॉक्टर खालिद मसूद साहब जो कि दुनिया भर में एक मारूफ स्कॉलर हैं, काउंसिल ऑफ इस्लामिक आइडियोलॉजी इस्लामी नज़रिया काउंसिल के चेयरमैन रहे हैं, वफाकी शरीय अदालत के जज रहे हैं, लेकिन ये तो बहुत ही मुख्तसर पाकिस्तानी तनाज़ुर में उनका दौर है, दुनिया भर में वो नाउन हैं, बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में उनकी स्कॉलरशिप का कंट्रीब्यूशन है बहुत ही अहम टॉपिक्स पर, लेकिन उन्होंने एक दूसरी मीटिंग में जाना है, इसलिए हम रस्म के अगेंस्ट मैं सबसे पहले उन्हीं को दावत दूंगा डॉक्टर खालिद मसूद साहब को कि वो अपने की नोट के साथ अपने ख्यालात के साथ डॉक्टर खालिद मसूद। अस्सलाम I must apologize. I would have loved to sit here at this. But being a member of the Executive Council of Ahmedabad University, the meeting has already started at 10, and I'll join them. Respected guests, especially on the chair, Sir Rahman Sahab, Chief of Staff, Honorable Professor Masood Sahab, Director, International Islamic
got IRD, Nepal Institute for Research and Development, for the launching ceremony of State Society Conflict in Pakistan, a psychosocial perspective by Ekmado retired Ghulam. My warmest congratulations to Dr. Ghulam, the Executive Director, IRD, for his dynamic publication programs under the leadership of Dr. Boston SSA, Director of International University. I consider the State Society conflict in Pakistan a psychosocial perspective, a thought-provoking work for three reasons. First, the subject of state and society in Pakistan has engaged the attention of several scholars like Hassan Rizvi, who published in 2000, Aisha Khan, Rabia Khan, 2004, Marco Mizera, Safia Aftab, 2009, and Qasim Zaman, 2018, to name a few of many more. But whereas other scholars still problematize the state of affairs in Pakistan, mostly from political and religious perspectives, Mujaddid's study of state-society relationship in Pakistan is from the psychosocial perspective. It is truly path-breaking with reference to Pakistan studies. In fact, focus on the social perspective of the history of state, of the theory of state, is growing in the 21st century for the first time. It is not by accident that Bernard Bosanquet's work, The Philosophical Theory of State, first published in 1899, was revised in 1909 and has been now published from Toronto in 2001. It shows the significance of the work in the 21st century. Bosanquet was a Hegelian British philosopher whose emphasis on the social rather than the political and the legal made him controversial in his lifetime. Carl Schmitt and others who regarded the political more important than the social influenced the role of state in terms of sovereignty, authority, coercive power, and its legitimizing role. In his preface to the second edition, Bosanquet wrote, "Those who cannot be enthusiastic in the study of society as it is would not be so in the study of the better society if they have it." According to him, practical social issues would in consequence be considered as problems of life and mind, to be traced within the intimate experience, and by methods adequate to their subtlety. He wrote, "My attempt to apply the conceptions of recent psychology to the theory of the state, coercion, and the real or general will explain the relation of social philosophy to sociological psychology." He was referring particularly to the imitation theory. In his revised edition of 1909, he wrote that the idea of nation-state might come to lose its distinctiveness and supremacy through the impossibility of determining on which of several concentric communities its peculiar prerogatives lie. He was sure that the wealth of modern experience can only strengthen and amplify the classical theory. This is what in fact happened in the recent past. Interest in the theory of state grew with the appealing concepts of sovereignty, authority, supremacy, legitimacy, and secularity. Democracy was problematic because it could be explained only in normative and moral terms, not in objective scientific terms, says Stanford Encyclopedia. The concept of sovereignty in Iran made it possible to Islamize the concept of state as Vilayat al-Faqih. In Pakistan, it was named Islamic State based on the concept of the Ilahiyya and the supremacy of Sharia. State was considered as the most proper concept to convey the meaning of being in Pakistan. Mr. Ghulam Mujaddid has chosen rather psychosocial perspective to analyze the real problem between state and society in Pakistan as conflict. That leads me to the second reason why I consider his work positively thoughtful. The author shocks the reader, reminding him and her that Pakistan as state and Pakistanis as society did not exist in reality on 14th of August 1947. They have been entities that were imagined severally and differently since the time country came into being. There was no Pakistani society existing at that date, and state existed only as a colonial concept. The fundamental paradigm of relationship between state and society consisted of a civil society, civil and military bureaucracy, judiciary, police, and cooperative clergy. They are deeply interwoven in maintaining their hold on society. The society, on the other hand, continues to feel exploited and alienated. Consequently, state is fragile and society is fragmented. The third reason for admiring this work is author's trust in the individual Pakistani. This is where he improves upon Ghulam's theory of the relationship between the state and society. Ghulam argued that the state is the real individual, and the individual persons are unreasonable by comparison with it. He explains that if the society is organic, then as individual, as its element, can cooperate as its part for a centralized organ of control. The need for which presupposes that harmony has to be imposed upon something which is naturally harmonious. Ghulam Mujaddid developed the theory of conflict to construct society as a community of independent individual agents. He argues that the solution to the problem lies in the awareness that the problem exists. Many in Pakistan are not fully aware that their state and society are engaged in a continuous conflict. He highlights the causal dynamics of the conflict between state and society by exploring psychological dimensions and psychosocial aspects of the attitudes, values, and behavior of institutions. He suggests introducing a attitudinal program on the theme that allows a Pakistani youth, a Pakistani individual, to deliberate the following. When I shall change, only and only then Pakistan will change. Let me conclude in author's words of his conviction that cordial behaviors create consensual and concordant situations of institutions of state and society and result in cordial state relations, because that is the end of every conflict. Let us pray after the youth who sought refuge in the cave according to the Quran and called upon God when entering the cave. Lord, bestow on us from your mercy and endow us with consciousness of what is right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. मैं हमारे खुसूसी सुनैना इमाम साहब से रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा कि खालिद मसीह साहब को शीट पेश कर दें हमारी शीट. हम अपने प्रोग्राम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए, चूंकि किताब की लॉन्चिंग हो रही है, मैं दीगर स्पीकर्स की तरफ जाने से पहले चाहूँगा कि बुक ऑथर डॉक्टर गुलाम मुजद्दिद साहब अपनी किताब के हवाले से गुफ्तगू फरमाएं। Dr. Ghulam has had a full career in Pakistan Air Force. He was commissioned in the PAF as GD pilot in October 1978 and served for 33 long years. He retired as Air Commodore in July 2012 and started to pursue his prestigious academic and research career. The author had the opportunity to serve at the prestigious collegiate institutions of PAF and other defense forces. He is a fellow of PAF Air War College and National Defense College. He has also been Senior Research Fellow, Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad. He is holder of 3 MSc degrees in Strategic Studies and completed his PhD degree in Strategic Studies from Qaeda University in March 2018. So I would like to request to Dr. Ghulam Mujaddid to please come forward and speak about his book.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Chief Guest, Air Chief Marshal Surya Rahman, former Chief of Pakistan Air Force, and honorable guest of honor, Air Vice Marshal Shahzad Hassan Chaudhary, ex-ambassador to Sri Lanka for Pakistan, respected Rector, Islamic International University, the Executive Director of IRB, esteemed ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, and thank you very much for your presence. Actually, only an academic and a person who is just for the sake of the activity, I can see you online. It is for me a matter of great honor that Khalid Muslim Sahab, an academic of immense standing in Pakistan as well as abroad, as we just heard, he had so many good words to say of my humble work. I am really humble. And in the process, he has also given you the salient features of what I am. Actually, it is a kind of a self-study. It's a self-evaluation, which is actually, it was revealing for me once I undertook the field of psychosocial back in 1984-85. Once I happened to do my MSc in Strategic Studies from the Department of Strategic Studies, alias University, in which Professor Dr. Nazir Hussain was a year senior to me, and at that time I undertook the thesis of writing the elements of national character or the psychosocial factors as element of Pakistan's national policy. And what I got to be revealed or got to be confronted with was many fault lines that existed in our kind of being in many fields in Pakistan. And for a young man at that time, I was writing him, and it was really very disturbing because we are, every Pakistani for that matter, is born to think that his country or her country is ideal and that is the best in the world. Of course, Pakistan was created to be the best country. There is no doubt about that, and we are all hungry. But however, what we find is that we are not. And why we are not? Because there are certain, inherent or brilliant problems that are there with our politics, with our state, with the society that we have created, and with the images and the thoughts that we have developed over the period of time. So this is the book that I have written, and is the purpose. Fortunately, I have also covered a chapter that how can we resolve this state and society dichotomy. That may not be the best thing to do because this is each and every aspect of the research, requires many further research. I wish that we talk more about how to resolve this paradigm of conflict that exists between the people and their state, and vice versa. We are seeing the effects of all that dichotomy and dissonance between the state of Pakistan and the people. We are seeing it every day, and that is where I really think that it is a timely tool. Well, it was always a timely tool because this conflict existed. If I had written this book 10 years before, 20 years before, it would create the same thing. It would compare it that all that is happening is actually written over here. It is not the command of mind or something, but it is just that it is actually happening. And for anybody who embarks upon, narrating it, will find that, it will explain the phenomena and it will look as if this is one thing, this is this, and this is that. So the other thing is, I'm sure that there will be reviewers, very esteemed reviewers that will tell you more about the quality and they will do the critique of that. But I would just say that what I want to do is that I want all of us to come to know that there exists this problem. And once we come to know, I think we have very sincere and very fertile minds and very noble intentions amongst us. There is no other way that we don't then come back and think this is a problem. Then how can we resolve this? How can we make Pakistan the country that it is meant to be? It is actually meant to be. So we need to restructure our core values. We need to restructure our attitudinal structures, and we need to come up with behaviors that are concordant, that are consensual, and that are sincere, based on sincerity. I mean, and we should know that when it doesn't matter, it is very designed that state has to be in the service of the society. There is no doubt about that. So somebody doesn't have to tell a state official that he is actually the servant of the people. And somebody doesn't have to tell the common individual that if you have a problem, he is the one who is responsible. Please go to him and ask him something. Form certain kind of associations with positive known as civil society organizations, and come up with your demands. Go and talk to the government officials at policy levels and do that. The problem occurs once the government on the policy level decided to they do not have the people-friendly or population-friendly attitudes and values. They have their own values. They want to perpetuate probably their own selves or something, which is not good. Similarly, the people in Pakistan, they have no option but to trust the state. So they have to trust the state, and for that they have to think that the state is actually in a way beholder of their trust, and for that the things have to set in the right direction. So thank you very much. I mean, I can talk a lot, and I have used certain theories of conflict, theories of psychology, and theories of sociology. So my humble effort, you can say, it is multidisciplinary, and I have tried to do so. Although what I have reached to, I'm sure that you are the ones to decide. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. डॉक्टर साहब की गुफ्तगू से ख्याल आया कि इंसान बचपन में जो बहुत पहले तस्वुरात हम एज अ चाइल्ड कंसीव करते हैं, उनमें एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो वालिदैन, खासतौर पर वालिदा के साथ ट्रस्ट का, सिक्योरिटी और ट्रस्ट का एक म्यूचुअल कॉन्सेंट होता है। बच्चे को ये पता होता है, वो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता ये कंसीव करने लगता है कि मैं कुछ भी करूँ, मेरी माँ मुझे बचाने या मेरी हिफाजत करने आ गई। आई बिलीव इसी वजह से रियासत को कहा जाता है कि रियासत माँ के जैसी होती है। अब है या नहीं, दैट्स अनदर क्वेश्चन, बट उसके साथ एक बड़ा गहरा ताल्लुक है। मैं बात को आगे बढ़ाते हुए डॉक्टर अयाज अख्तर साहब को, जो कि वाइस प्रेसिडेंट एकेडमिक्स हैं इस्लामिक इंटरनेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी इस्लामाबाद के वो तशरीफ लाएं और
It's matter of great pleasure for me to talk about this book. Now it's not my field. I prefer more English literature. But I think that I am not a citizen of Pakistan. And most of the questions which have always worried me and I thought about the mother thing answer. And I think being a common citizen of Pakistan, you will be, most of you will be like me, who would have been worried about these questions. What are the questions I noticed some of these? And for you is, if you have these questions, then this is the book for you. The question has been, why there is no lessness of violence in Pakistan? Why is the institution of bureaucracy the principal source of poor governance and maladministration in Pakistan? Why has the management of education, health, shelter, business, communication, and energy gone from the bad to worse over the past decade? What is the cause of radicalization of society and the prevalence of militancy in Pakistan? Is Pakistan going in the right direction? Is Pakistan a fragile or a failed state? And why are the citizens being abducted, tortured, killed by the criminal court, the police, as well as if these are the burning questions and like this other questions, then this is the right book for you to read and find the answer. Am I not going to spoil this telling this plot in some way? Because it's important for you to do it. I wanted to read it, and when I started, I couldn't stop until I finished it. So I couldn't. I can't claim that I have read every single word of it, but I have read almost all the chapters. And what is more interesting for me is that it has come. I mean, some of these questions might have been debated, and we hear it every day on TV and newspaper and many discussions. But if it is coming from the ethic, where we use a research ethic and ethic, who is the inside, who is part of that establishment, one form of organization, and also presenting you see on the basis of not using imagination, but based on research, then it should be taken seriously, and it has a different meaning. My purpose here is to give you a taste of it, so that you can buy it and read it. And for that purpose, I'll just quote a few short stories to give a taste of it. Beginning with education. The author has presented deep being in the profession of education every day. And I am just taking this position from here. The system of education in Pakistan works in the entity as any other organization. That the system of education in Pakistan works on the entities of education. It shuns ingenuity, inquiry, and question. It impedes research, innovation, and solution. And it does not involve values of honesty, industry, and problem solving. That is meant for working against it.
In the same way, the author has written why there is this radicalization and why there is a militancy. The reason is presenting something like this because this organization and institutions protects its interests and its privileged position. They want to leave them. It has captured the economic, legislative, judicial, diplomatic, and media spaces in country. It has created a parallel state, a state business. And in the same way, look for the institutions like police, bureaucracy, and others will feel some carry comments like this. And what's the reason? Dr. Khalid Masood has already presented and also himself has mentioned that the reason is not created in one day, it has a historical background. And also takes us back to the Mughals and some Islamic history. And then the Independence Day 1947. There are also things that these institutions, the bureaucracy, the police, the military, they have a structure. But there was no society. If there was a society, there was an imagined society. That was a dream, and we still say that was a dream of the past. So there is a difference between a dream and a reality. So when people realize that what was in their imagined homeland, what would be Pakistan, that was just a dream, that's still in dream. And that's why that we see any array of hopes. You see, when somebody comes and says a new slogan of Pakistan, what does Pakistan mean? And people have that imagined state. And they think that there would be a new bureau and maybe we'll get it. But that is just an idea, it has always been an idea, it has always been imagined. So what is the way forward? What has itself stated here and clearly mentioned that for that purpose we need to sit together and reorient ourselves if we want to build a true nation. So nation building has never been done. People have been working for their personal interest and to give their privileged positions. So if we are ready to do that, that is the only way forward. And I congratulate the author to write this book. And it is the right time. And he rightly said that it has always been the right time for the book. And had we thought it earlier, we would have corrected ourselves. But it's not too late if we do it. But one thing I think that somehow that after reading, I don't know who is going to do that. That is a main question. That who will do it? Okay, we realize that's the problem. That's the gap between the people and the rulers and the rule, the concept we got from the ruling and we hear this in many forums. But the problem is who is going to do all this and who will initiate it. And with these I end with a quotation that books give not wisdom and was where was none before. Say again. Books give not wisdom, where was none before. But where some is, their reading makes it. Thank you very much.
बहुत शुक्रिया डॉक्टर अयाज साहब। मैं क्योंकि बहुत खासा तंगी नामा के शिकार हैं, तो मैं डीन सोशल साइंसेज कायदा यूनिवर्सिटी डॉक्टर नजीर हुसैन साहब से गुजारिश करूंगा कि
former dean. I have the several pieces of it. My privilege and honor, and I have 3 points to make. One, I never heard about IIT before. It's a very interesting area, and the guidance of our rector. I had the privilege of working with him also for a couple of years. put lots of things, and then he wants you to do the work, and some things are that wonderful. But thank you very much, sir. And definitely congratulations to Mujaddid for writing this book. I have 3 points to make. One point is the passion which Mujaddid carries. And I know this passion for the last 37 years. They with him off and on, whether he was as a student, he was an instructor, and his quality being that he is both the theoretician and the practitioner. There's a rare breed in Pakistan. And Dr. has mentioned who will tell the cat. I think he has also pointed towards that. And the presence of our former Air Chief is there that who will bat the cat. The critical thinking of academia is to provide the platform. It is unfortunately the same aspect of state and society. Society thinks, society contributes, but state does not take those things to implement. That's the fundamental problem. I'm being education for the last 30 years, so my emphasis on education. We claim United States of America is the most powerful country. It's not powerful because of its weaponry. It's powerful because there are 5,000 universities, and 500 of those universities are the topmost universities of the world. I'll come back to that part later. But Mujaddid is passionate about Pakistan. We have personal meetings, and this passion has also made many sacrifices on the part of Mujaddid in his profession, in his life. I know personally. So, but he has kept, and I think this book is an epitome of his passion for Pakistan. He has not only given problems, but the solutions too. A real thing, because we used to write things and still write things, but we never come across what should be done. And that's the dilemma which comes to my second part of discussion. अगर आप इजाजत दें तो मैं अपने दिल का हाल उर्दू में कहूँ। हमारे तालीमी निज़ाम के साथ खिलवाड़ किया ऐसे लोगों को ला के हमारे ऊपर बिठा दिया गया जिनको पाकिस्तान के तालीमी निज़ाम के मुताबिक जीरो नॉलेज। माफी चाहता हूँ, एचईसी का सिस्टम सारे का सारा रिडंडेंट है। ऐसे लोगों को बिठा दिया, ना कभी चेयरमैन रहे, ना कभी डीन रहे, ना कभी वाइस चांसलर रहे, बाहर से उठा के एक निज़ाम हमारे ऊपर इम्पोज कर दिया जाता है। एक एचईसी का चेयरमैन आता है, वो कहते हैं जी कि आपने पीजी प्रोड्यूस कर दिए। दूसरे एचईसी के चेयरमैन आते हैं, वो कहते हैं जी आपने आपकी जर्नल डिग्री बीएस से, बस इससे आगे नहीं जाना। हम बताएं एज एन एजुकेशनिस्ट हम कहाँ खड़े हैं, हमने क्या करना है। और ये कहा गया है, मुख्तलिफ ज़बानों में कहा गया है, किसी भी मुल्क को तोड़ना हो तो उसका एजुकेशन सिस्टम आप स्ट्रेटिफाइड कर दें। मैं बाहर की बात नहीं करता, आप इस्लामाबाद में देख लें कितनी स्ट्रेटिफिकेशन है स्कूलों की, कॉलेजेस की, इतनी सर्टिफिकेशन शायद दुनिया में हमें कहीं और नहीं मिलेगी। और दूसरा, क्योंकि सरदार चौधरी साहब का ताल्लुक आजकल मीडिया से बहुत ज्यादा है, मैंने भी 8 साल मीडिया किया। दूसरा, हमने मीडिया को मदर पितर आजाद कर दिया। हम हर चीज मीडिया से मुतासिर होकर लेते हैं, ख्वातीन के सूट हो, डिटर्जेंट हो या कोई आइडिया हो, हम हर चीज मीडिया से ले रहे हैं। और मीडिया को हमने 7 से लेके 11 बजे तक बिल्कुल बेमहाल छोड़ दिया। आप देखिए, मैं उससे बेहतर समझता हूँ, आप सर आपके प्रोग्राम की बात नहीं कर रहा, मैं उससे बेहतर समझता हूँ कि आप टॉम एंड जेरी शो देख लें, वो 7 से 11 बजे तक तो बकवास होती है। इट इज जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ रेटिंग, नथिंग एल्स। 2 प्रोडिक्शन को हमारी, और आखिरी बात इस बारे में बताऊंगा, कौन बनेगा करोड़पति। ऐसे ऐसे प्रोग्राम लॉन्च किए जा रहे हैं जो हमारे यूथ में, हमारी खवातीन में हिजान पैदा कर रहे हैं कि हमने कितने तोले सोना लेना है, कितने हजार की सीसी की गाड़ी मिलेगी, किस पे लगा दिया, कमर्शियलाइजेशन पे। तो मैं ज्यादा बातें नहीं करता, बहुत कुछ कह सकता हूँ, लेकिन मैं समझता हूँ कि इस किताब में वो सारी चीजें लिखी गई और एक जिस पे हम काफी बहस करते रहे थे, द स्टेट नैरेटिव, इट इज स्टिल मिसिंग। From 47 to 77, we were in Islamic State. But from 77 till Musharraf, we again became an Islamic State. I hope you are getting. हमें फिर मुसलमान बनाने की नाकाम कोशिश की। मुशर्रफ साहब है, he brought this idea of enlightened moderation. मुझे पूरा चैप्टर लिखना पड़ा enlightened moderation पे। जब मुशर्रफ साहब के जज़ाकल्लाह बहुत करीब थे उनके, जब हम उनके पास पहुंचे तो उन्होंने कहा बस ये आइडिया है तो कोई ऐसा इसका बेस तो कोई नहीं। Then we had to search for the peace. देखिए हमने सेकुलर सिस्टम चला के देखी, हमने कैपिटलिस्ट सिस्टम चला के देखी। I had the privilege of going to